If my sources are right, I realize why Kevin Love, Cleveland's in the lead for him. From what I'm being told, Kevin Love has made it very, very clear to a lot of teams interested in him that it may not behoove them to go to extend themselves to try to acquire him, because the second he becomes a free agent next summer, he's going to Cleveland to play with LeBron James. That's what I'm hearing. Whether that's true or not, that's not concrete. I can't definitively say that because I haven't spoken to Kevin Love or sources close enough to him where I feel comfortable confirming that on a concrete basis. But that's what I was hearing as of yesterday afternoon. With that being said, if I'm Flip Saunders, I don't care. The Golden State Warriors had a deal for Klay Thompson, David Lee, Harrison Barnes. They were willing to take the contract of Kevin Martin. They wanted the number 13 overall pick in this past June's NBA draft. Minnesota wasn't willing to do it, flip-flopped on that. As a result, they are where they are. Kevin Love does not want to be in Minnesota. Flip Saunders is enamored with his talent, but not his personality and his penchant for pointing fingers. As a result, it can end up spoiling the Timberwolves season as far as I'm concerned. Kevin Love needs to get out of there, and Flip Saunders needs to get as much compensation for him as he possibly can. I don't want to hear about all of this other stuff with Cleveland because, to me, Andrew Wiggins, Anthony Bennett, and a future number one that's not going to really be a high pick because LeBron James and those boys are going to be winning basketball games, to me, doesn't suffice for the services of Kevin Love. What they're better off doing is talking to Golden State or getting Cleveland to bring in the third team to make sure they get a deal with far more talent than they're throwing out there. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I'm hearing it. We'll see what happens, Skip.
Okay, so I want to reiterate my position on young Andrew Wiggins. Nothing personal against him. Had him on the show. Like him, like his character, like his work ethic. I don't believe he'll ever turn into an NBA superstar. So I think, Stephen A., you and I have agreed that's obviously not the best deal on the table. If Klay Thompson is included from the Golden State angle, that's the best deal. I'm still hung up on that alleged, reported Bulls offer. When you start throwing in Taj Gibson and Jimmy Butler and Mirotic, who I think I'm going to love, maybe even Doug McDermott, Mike Dunleavy. I mean, it's worlds beyond what Cleveland is offering. But it sounds to me like, once again, the city of Cleveland is about to hit the lottery. It's like the heavens have opened and everything's coming up roses in Cleveland in sports. Not to mention Johnny Manziel, but obviously LeBron is going home. And now it looks like, according to what you're telling me, that the Timberwolves are kind of stuck because Kevin Love has made it very public. I'm going nowhere but Cleveland eventually. One way or the other, I'm going to Cleveland. So that's going to reduce the offers from Chicago, maybe Golden State, because they're saying we don't want to rent him for too much of this that we have to give up for him. And yet, from Cleveland, I don't think that's nearly enough, even though you got the pizzazz of the first pick in the draft that the owner in Minnesota, I'm surely likes. The Glenn Taylor probably wants to have Andrew Wiggins just on marquee value. As you say, box office. Maybe for a little while you could sell him as the future of your franchise, even though I don't think he will be. But you're telling me that really the Timberwolves are being held hostage by Kevin Love's goal of getting to LeBron James. Isn't that right?
Yeah, it sounds like that from what I was hearing yesterday, but the fact is that wasn't the case more than a month ago, which means to me Flip Saunders may have dropped the ball on this. I don't want to hear about any denials to the contrary now that Klay Thompson wasn't a part of the deal with Golden State, because I've been hearing for 2 months that was not the case, that he was. So to me, you had opportunities to make this happen. Remember, Kevin Love initially gave Chicago and Golden State as his preferred destinations. Then after that, it was LeBron in Cleveland. Kevin Love is under contract. Obviously, the most money he could get is from Minnesota. Even though he's got some leverage, he's not in a position to flex but so much muscle. So if I'm Flip Saunders and the Minnesota Timberwolves, I simply make him somebody else's problem, but I'm going to get as much compensation from him as I possibly can. I'm not going to capitulate to demands of an individual that's telling me he doesn't want to be with me, but then is going to try to dictate what I take for his services. I mean, I don't know what he's smoking if he think he's going to get away with that. And that's the attitude I think Flip Saunders should have. But we'll wait and see, because if they end up giving up Kevin Love for just Anthony Bennett, Andrew Wiggins, and a first-round pick, as far as I'm concerned, the Minnesota Timberwolves would have gotten hoodwinked, and that would be very, very bad for Flip Saunders.
Okay, but think about this. If it's true that Kevin Love will not sign long-term with Golden State,
right,
that he effectively would be, a one-year rental for Golden State?
Yep.
Are you sure, if you are Steve Kerr, that you, or whoever's making the decisions above him in Golden State, but it starts with Steve Kerr, but are you sure you would give up Klay Thompson on top of David Lee and Harrison Barnes?
No, that's not what I'm saying, Skip. What I'm saying is before these proclamations were supposedly or purportedly made by Kevin Love, you had an opportunity to acquire him in Golden State. And Flip Saunders, from what I'm hearing, pretty much dropped the ball on that. I haven't spoken to Flip Saunders, but that's what I was hearing. All I'm saying is you had an opportunity to make that happen. Now make him somebody else's problem. There are plenty of astute executives in the NBA that can do a lot with a Kevin Love entering the final year of his contract. So if you can't make the kind of deal happen, where Kevin Love gets to Cleveland, then make him somebody else's problem and you get what you can for him. What you don't do is sit there and accept considerably less for a three-time All-Star's services, especially when he's fresh off a season where he averaged 26 and 12.